What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the CP Podcast. I'm your host, CP, and it's the CP Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the shit CP want to talk about. And it started a little late because it be on CP time, and sometimes it be like 3 weeks, and when you don't see one, because CP, you know what I'm saying? Fuck it. I apologize in advance for what happened in the previous.
What happened?
Hold on, man. I ain't even introduced you yet.
Oh.
Now, to my right, I don't have nobody to my right, man. Maya is off to go be a mother. And yeah, man. It feels weird, man. It feels weird. And you know what? It's my fault. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. First of all, before I tell you what happened, we do have Amir still here. Shout out to Amir. Bam, the Amir cam. Yeah, and he wears black. He don't even wear black to troll us. Like, literally, I was in a store down south, and I saw a black shirt, and it said, on hold for Amir. And I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, yeah, we're going to ship it to him. That's how the little girl said it. We're going to ship it to him. I'm like, damn. Anyway, my guest for the day is my brother, man, from Roast Me, man. Anywhere I'm at in the country, people stop me, and they be like, man, I love you on Roast Me, man. It's always you. And my guy right here, Craig Smith. Shout out to Craig Smith.
God, and the place to be, man.
Yeah,
Thank you for
man.
having me, man.
Everywhere I go, they be like, man, it's either you or Craig, man. I be like, nigga, Craig ain't here, nigga. Just say it's me. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing, man. They say it everywhere. It's all of us, man.
Yeah.
Somebody out there thinks somebody else is the greatest.
Yeah, that's how it be, man. That's how it be. But, man, you know what's crazy, bro? So, update. All right, so 3 weeks ago, I knew I was going on tour, and we were going to shoot before I left. So I'm on my way here, and, nigga, my battery in my Tesla dies. Right? Now, not the battery that I charged. I had like 200 miles on it. But to my knowledge, it was the small 12-volt battery. Nigga, I had to pull over on the side of the road. I called Maya. I'm like, look, I'm about to get it towed to the dealership. I'll let you know. It was like 2 hours before showtime. She's like, you're cooked. I'm like, first of all, be positive. You know what I'm saying? But she was like, oh, you're cooked. Don't even worry about it. I'm going to call Amir. I'm like, no, I'm not cooked. I'm going to go to the dealership. They have great customer service. I get there, and I'm cooked.
They didn't give you a car?
So here go the thing. I was flying out that night. I didn't need a car. I needed to know what was up with my car so that I could, because they're not going to store my shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right. So they like, yeah, man, get that battery swapped out for you. I'm in there pulling out all the stops, man. Y'all don't watch Roast Me? Come on, man. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, please, man, please. You know what I'm saying? Embarrassing myself. But got to do what I got to do. I got to get the fuck out of town. Fuck it. You got to. They come back and they like, hey, man, we're going to offer you a loaner, man. Like, this going to take us 2 weeks to fix. It's not the 12-volt battery. Like, my battery failed. So I'm like, how much is the battery? They're like, $22,000. $22,000.
Wow.
For a new battery. This is basically the engine of the car.
Wow.
Right. You got a Tesla.
Yeah, I got a
Y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ain't covered?
It was covered. Luckily, my shit, because I've had my shit for a grip. It was still under warranty. Right? Shout out to Tesla. They replaced everything for free, put a brand new battery in my shit, which was dope because nigga, they just put me back in the game crazy because, your battery decreases miles. So, like, now my maximum mileage is crazy. But that prevented me from recording the episode that would have aired 3 weeks ago. Then I left and went to Detroit. And when I was in Detroit, they kept adding shows. And it was like, man, I'm like, damn it. It just like from my Michigan tour, I had shows kind of like spread out. Like this weekend, I got Punchline. And next weekend, I'm doing Afro Nation, all in Detroit. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to chill with my parents and handle business that we got in Detroit, right? We one of my dogs is pregnant.
Oh, so, congratulations.
Yeah, shout out to that, Funny Farm.
Frenchie?
Yeah, of course. Funny Farm Frenchies coming soon. Max is going to be a dad. Y'all know Max. That's been my Frenchie for a minute. You met Max.
Yeah, I met him when he was
before
he was fucking.
I know. No, for real.
He was just a goofy puppy.
When he was just a young sweet boy. You know what I'm saying?
Now he's a man.
Now he's a grown man. You know what I'm saying? But so anyway, so that was like a week where I was like in Detroit. In the middle of that week, they ended up adding a show in the middle of the week at Punchline again in Detroit. crazy. So it was like an add-on show. Then I did Afro Nation, which was nuts. Like I've never done no festival. I've done festival numbers like crazy. I've did like AT&T Stadium in Dallas for like the Kaboo Festival back in like 2018, 2019 with like Dennis Miller, people like I think like Bob Saget was
Oh
there.
wow,
It was
that's
like
amazing.
25,000
How
rocking.
you?
Like they brought us in like a little police escort underneath the stadium. All you hear is feet. Nigga feel like you about to get jumped or something. You know what I'm saying? Um, but like this being in my city, bruh, and then they had like a music festival after the comedy show, and it was like Burna Boy. It felt like, bruh, it was amazing. Anyway, so then that was the weekend, and then I had Michigan State, who was like 45 minutes away from Detroit, like 5 days later, which turned into a 13-day trip.
Right,
Um, and it was just a lot going on. In that time, we lost Maya because now Maya's on like super mommy watch, right?
right,
And
right.
then my other co-host is they're married, Tony. So you don't know, I'm just
Mm.
filling you in. So they're together. So now, this is the first. Craig is the first guest. We about to just. It's gonna be unhinged. It's like our mom is gone, right? It's like our mom is out of town, and you know we're not gonna clean up this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we might break shit, right? So you know, let's get it going, man. Maya sent us some topics, some cool shit to talk about. Just to fill you in, bro. On this podcast, I'm usually the one who believes in the shit that nobody else believes in. And then, you know, everybody is always like laughing at me because I believe in shit. What do you believe in, man? Like aliens, like mermaids, like where we at? So I know what we dealing with.
Man, for me, you only know what you know, right? So I believe in the things that I know, but I do have an adventurous mind, and I do acknowledge like supposition, which is, things that may not be realistic as having possible realistic qualities. So I guess
Mm-hmm.
I would say I believe in aliens because, and I'll give you a reason why. Because what's the definition of extraterrestrial?
Um Extraterrestrial is something that's not from this planet.
Exactly, right? So in order to create something, to build something, where do you have to be in relation to it? In order to build anything, you have to be outside of it, right? So I tend to think that God would have had to be a an extraterrestrial because in order to build this planet and the things in it, he would have had the vantage point of being outside of it, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, okay, I see where you're going with it. You one of them niggas who be like, see, God was a black man because no, I feel what you're saying, but I feel like if you create something, you can't be alien to it. For example, whatever realm God is in
Right,
to create us, we're all still in that realm. We just on this little piece. So
right,
that wouldn't make him an alien to us. That'd just make him a part of the atmosphere that we in. Right?
right,
That's like saying like if we built the ant farm in the middle of this table, that because we not in that ant farm is not on Earth.
right, right. Okay, but I would agree with that, but I'm referring to like consciousness, right? Like streams of consciousness. So this table was an idea in somebody's head.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for it to be real, they had to separate it from their thoughts by creating it. So once you separate yourself from an idea, that idea is no longer you. It's its own living, breathing thing.
Right.
You
We see
feel?
this table every day, but never acknowledge who made
Oh,
it.
we don't know his name. We don't know where he's
Right.
from.
Right.
We probably know the person that mimicked the person that mimicked the person that mimicked the person that mimicked the person, but we don't know the creator of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't think good things are necessarily things where we have to know the creator because it goes back to what you said, where we all share the same atmospheres for the greater good of everybody.
Damn. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So this the CP podcast, man. Basically, you know what I'm saying? This nigga just got prison deep. You know what I'm saying? That's how a nigga talk to you when he look. That's how a nigga talk to you when he beating your ass in chest, and you like right. He like, yeah. See, the thing is, you got to understand, Rook to Bishop, that you know what I'm saying. You be like, this nigga fucking me up.
That's some ill shit. Never been to prison. I went to jail for 4 hours though.
Man, nigga, I've been in jail for a couple of days.
For real,
that ain't nothing to brag about. But
nah.
But I was a young nigga, man. I couldn't do it as an old nigga, bro. Fuck that.
Man, I don't see how people do it,
I
man.
gotta stay law abiding.
It's cold in there, no windows. You don't know what time it is. The bunks are hard. I don't understand people who keep going back.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. All that shit you just described is on a good day. Like, nigga, what? It's mean ass niggas in there who are pissed off. It's like, bruh, and some of them niggas know each other. You ain't from here like that. You don't know these niggas.
That's really.
It's like, man, hell no. And if I was in Detroit, I could probably, I could go to jail. I ain't gonna lie. One of my homeboys who, and this made me feel good, but it also kind of like was like, God damn. One of my homeboys who was a comedian, I'm not gonna say his name. This nigga went to jail, and somebody in jail was like, nigga, you a comedian, bro. Is it CP? And that nigga was like, hell yeah. He said, nigga, he had hella love in that bitch.
For real?
I'm like, man, ain't that a bitch, nigga? You done fuck around and use my damn pass. Now when I get in there, they be like, no, nigga, you ain't here. Fuck that. I be like, yeah, I promise. Show me the love.
That's hilarious.
No, man. So, all right, so check this out. It was a village where, and I don't know why this shit not international news. Of course not, because it's not real. Basically, it was some predator-style aliens flying around with jetpacks, killing people, right? And so, I mean, off top, this looks like a practice run for what they're gonna try to Project Blue Beam us with. Because, like, aliens flying around on jetpacks, I don't know, right? But check this out. Check the video out. Can we play the video? Yeah. Here we go. Look at this. Can we get sound?
Este impresionante video captó ese instante en que los habitantes le disparan a los supuestos seres, como ven, en medio de la noche.
Los vecinos dicen que están aterrorizados. Ellos describieron a los entes como gigantes que miden casi 7 pies de altura y que visten trajes que parecen de astronautas. Vamos a escuchar.
Yeah.
They're speaking Spanish though.
Okay. So basically, there's a little village that's being terrorized by these beasts that are like flying around. They're like 7 feet, armored aliens with large heads and yellow eyes. And this is in Peru. And they're flying around and they're fucking people up. Now, here's the thing. What? Yeah. And then why are we not talking about this?
Why Peru?
I mean, you know.
Or they don't think nobody's going to care.
I mean, right. That's what I'm saying. It looked like some kind of practice. Like, all right, this is them. Like, they want to unveil kind of like this new alien. You know what I'm saying? Like a little alien kind of like invasion. And a jetpack it just feels so fake landing on the moon. Like, I didn't live all this long to see no goddamn alien with no shit that I saw 20 years ago on TV with a jetpack. Like, bruh, if they can't just walk in the air, I'm not even impressed at this point.
When you say Blue Beam, are you talking about like the New World Order thing?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
And so basically, them trying to do this big hoax to the world where they can kind of like simulate an alien invasion so that they can control the response.
Right.
Right? Either deeming that aliens don't exist and that they're using that as a tool to be able to control the people, or they've already made a pact with the aliens and this is just like an elaborate kind of scheme to keep our world governments in the control of us. Like, because for example, like, think about it. Like, you think I want to hear some shit a president got to say if a supreme being shows up?
Right.
It's like, nigga, fuck you. Shut up. What does light bearer have to say?
This nigga's floating.
Yeah, exactly.
Sit your ass down.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in order to avoid that, they have to make sure that they can control the entrance of aliens to us. Right? It's like, this the perfect way to put it. You can't just introduce. Let's say like your cousin is the plug.
Right.
You can't just introduce the nigga who need the shit to your cousin because then you just out of it completely.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah, but if you like start being a middleman for a little bit to make you a couple dollars, and then in the meantime they're gonna have to meet each other eventually, right? But now you done bossed yourself up enough to kind of like coat the intro, like this the nigga I told you about, who I've been working with.
It's the proper endearment.
You feel me? And it's like okay, right on, and it's like so that's how they want to do us because they've been they've been selling us dope forever. We like the Fiend who give you the 20 and you go get the shit for 5 and come back and be like, it was 15. And he be like, well, thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, imagine trying to introduce the Fiend to the plug. They don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's real space.
They do not want to do that. So they're going to create this elaborate thing where, it make us scared of the plug.
100%.
Like, oh no, we don't fuck with aliens. The aliens gonna think we don't fuck with them. And then, the government gonna be like, let us talk to them.
Yeah.
We'll talk to them. Bam, they gonna talk to the people. Like, look, they cool. It's just you can't be running up on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, it's just they gonna look good to the aliens and they gonna look good to us. That's what it feels like.
I agree. They gotta figure out the math, Because at the end of the day, man, this shit is science. And they're like neurotransmitters in our brains that transfer information. And I feel like they calculate the speed of that. They know how long it takes for us to process certain shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel when I say they're working on the math, I feel like they're basically working on the equations that give them the upper hand in our response time. Because there's information, and then it's how long it takes us to process it, receive it, and respond to it.
Have you seen that Clone Tyrone movie?
I seen parts of it. I'm sit down and watch it. Though.
No, you gotta finish the whole thing. Amir, have you seen it?
Nah, I haven't seen it yet, but I want to.
Man,
because I ain't got a Netflix subscription and they tweaking, so I ain't.
It's so deep, bro. Like it's like the ultimate conspiracy theory movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like I don't even really know what movie to like equate it to, but it feels like I've seen a movie like this before, but I don't really know like what movie that I can compare it to. It's really, really good,
Cocoon?
Surprisingly. Nah, I don't know about Cocoon. I'm not really familiar with that movie. But it's like, man, that shit is like, it's really good, bro.
I've heard it's really good though.
It's
I
really
do plan
good,
on checking
bro.
it out.
And the message in it is like, holy shit, like it's just one of them like wake up movies. Like, damn, black people need to wake up because like they getting us at every turn.
Yeah,
like it's like it's in the food, it's in the shit you put on your skin, it's in what I'm saying. It's like the control shit is wild, man, and it's just like when you realize how deep this shit goes and how vast, like you just feel small. Like damn, like it really don't even it kind of shit don't really matter because they control everything. Like that's how the movie made you feel. Like damn, they just cloning niggas and just putting niggas back out there. It's just like, man. And I ain't saying that's real, but the idea and like the mindset behind it. Some of these movies you watch them and you be like, damn, niggas thinking like that.
Yeah, I mean, shit, propaganda is a real thing, though. Propaganda is a real thing, man. So.
Yeah, and I had that theory about how they be cloning NBA players.
Man, what's crazy? I want to hear that theory because I got a theory about the NBA too.
Okay, so let me tell you. Like, so every now and then there's a new phenotype, somebody who comes out who is like a new best, right? Like Steph Curry, right? Like LeBron, right? And like they're just splicing and splicing and splicing. And it's like, if you notice, like some of the best NBA players always got an absent father.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they biological dad is always gone because there was never no biological dad. It was a lab situation. Like, and it's like a factory and it's like 4 Jordans on the way. I'm telling you. And it's like a new LeBron coming,
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to come in like 5 years, you know what I'm saying? And it might be one of his sons.
Possibly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like, and you think these people be having kids, but they really just having like, you know what I'm saying? Like they just raising their clone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, it's a lot of like small little things. Like you ever watch like the side by sides of like Kobe and Jordan, like doing the same moves, almost identical, or like watch like those videos where like different players are like almost like a glitch, like all moving at the same time in the same way, doing the same thing, like, and it just be like, nah, something ain't right with this shit.
A lot of them elite players too. They be coming from places you're like, what? Shaq from San Antonio? Kobe was raised in Italy. LeBron
Right.
from, you know what I mean? It'd be like these out of the way places where,
Right.
you know
and
what
then
I
they
mean?
said LeBron and Steph Curry from the same hospital. Born in the same. You ever heard that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, LeBron and Steph Curry born in the same hospital. And it's just like, man, you know, some stuff they just throw it out there and be like, if you caught that, you caught that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What are the odds? What are the odds that two fucking NBA legends battling for a time slot of dominance in history?
Same hospital.
Same hospital.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, it's a lot
Jay-Z,
of hospitals.
Busta Rhymes, Puff
Biggie.
Daddy,
DMX all went to the same high school.
I think I don't know if Puff was there. Puff was in D.C.
Yeah, I
It
don't
was
think
Biggie.
Puff was there. No, Puff was in.
He was in D. I think he went to Howard.
He went to Howard, but
Yeah,
I
but
think
it was
he
big.
was
But they went to high school in Long Island, I thought. Or
Method Man.
Was it Method Man?
I think it was Method Man. I'm
I
not
swear,
sure.
I feel like it was Biggie though.
But
I could-
Jay-Z
No,
and
Biggie
Biggie
went there
were there
too.
for sure together. Jay-Z
Yeah.
and Biggie for sure.
Yeah, Busta. I know
and
Busta
Busta
Rhymes
was
for
there.
sure.
Busta was there, yup.
Man, but I think that's very interesting what you said, man. And I think it's programming. I think a lot of shit is manufactured.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of stuff is manufactured. I think that the propaganda machine is so dialed into information and how the brain works that they only release things to us that will further strengthen their control over us. Because the brain has a reward system that is consistent of serotonin, dopamine, and I forget the other two hormones. But whenever you survive something, it rewards you by excreting those hormones into your system. You feel what I'm saying? But
That's why when niggas fuck a fat bitch, they feel so accomplished.
they feel like,
You know what I'm saying? And you keep going back like, this bitch made me feel super.
right.
Yeah.
But what happens is, what they also understand is that when you are rewarded by your biology with elation or a feeling of belonging once you accomplish or survive something, because your body processes a win like survival. So when you have a good set, like you murdered last night, your body is not processing that like a win. Your body is processing that as survival, because that's an environmental stimulant that's foreign to you. So it looks at that the way you would, it would look at you hunting something and completing the hunt. You feel what I'm saying? And it rewards you for that, because once those things are triggered, you remember how you did that and you're able to add to that. So you're not starting from zero every time you accomplish something. You're starting from where you left off. Do you feel what I'm saying?
I kind of feel what you're saying. So it's almost like what we consider to be confidence is just a new stat quo of
survival,
like an accomplishment level, like an understanding of your environment, right? Like, so when you're 12 years old and you're living in the wild and you kill your first animal, right? Every kill, you become more savage. You never unlearn how to kill, right?
You start from that point.
You start from that point every day. You start from the understanding that you have accomplished.
And so you start at that rabbit, then you get to that coyote, then you get to that bear.
Right.
But the interesting thing about it is this: what these folks understand is the fact that once you get that reward from the brain, it takes more of an event to get that elation again. So you're not going to feel that same high you feel if you just keep killing rabbits. You got to elevate from rabbits to deer. You feel what I'm saying?
You got to challenge yourself. Yeah. And that reward system, I know what you're saying. And I felt that before. And even in watching your kids, you watch your kids ride their bike for the first time and you like, you did it. And it's like that's just a one-time moment. It's only one time where you're going to say you did it because they rode their bike.
Right.
It's only one time you're going to say, you did it because they did a cartwheel. You know what I'm saying? It's only one time. And so like, it is like that first time. It's, just with anything, like drugs, it's never going to be as fun. I was telling some of my friends the other day, it's like, man, we smoke weed, and it's like, it's cool. But it's like, remember when you couldn't stop laughing when you was high, you know what I'm saying? And remember like just having the best night of your life because you was high. It's not like that.
Right.
It's not like that. No. It's just it's like it's something different.
Yeah, that's real shit. That's when it's time for a reset, man. You know what I
No,
mean?
for real, for real, for real.
That's even in relationships, man. That same science applies to relationships. Like people who are in a dysfunctional relationship, they start off arguing about small shit, and then they get that release because when you argue with somebody, your body to your body, you're surviving a life or death experience. Because in nature, we don't argue with our environment. You don't see a dog in nature barking at a lion, going back and forth, beefing. It doesn't work like that. You know what I'm
But
saying?
why not though?
Because I mean, I can say that there's a lot of different reasons. Oh, somebody calling me. I mean, we're the only animals that are allowed to play and pander, unless it's an animal that we domesticated. Most other animals don't play and pander outside their species. Like you don't see a polar bear and a seal chasing each other, having fun. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
always for bread and water. So
Yeah, I mean, but no, because they've been shown to show um aquatic mammals and like dolphins, killer whales. Well, both dolphins
yeah,
having fun,
for sure. Yeah, for
doing
sure.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Throwing shit around, tossing seals 55 feet up in the air because it's funny,
Yeah,
laughing at shit. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's the shit that made me think like, man, we gotta stop thinking that we the only ones on the planet. We just got cars and shit. We don't know what the fuck they got going on. And they talk about how that UFO, that Tic Tac, was sitting over the ocean talking to something, and something was talking to it, and then it took off. It's like, dog, like we are so vain to think that first contact would even be with us.
That's real spit.
They might want to go talk to some of them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And so, like yeah, man. It's a lot of dolphins get high off pufferfish. I heard that too.
yeah.
I heard that too.
You know that a killer whale is a dolphin, right?
Yeah.
And do you know what makes a whale a whale?
Uh I don't know, but I do know that killer whale is the biggest dolphin.
Yeah. So I used to think that what made a whale was that it had to come to the surface for air and all that stuff. But
Dolphins do that though.
what makes a whale is that all whales were once land mammals that went into the water in search of food.
Right, but I'm saying like, so you're saying that the dolphins weren't.
No, I think the dolphins have a different plan. Maybe possibly with the dolphins, but I know specifically whales. All whales were land
Are
animals.
dolphins mammals? I know whales are mammals.
Porpoises?
Is porpoise, is that in the whale? Is that in the mammal family, or is that like
I
a
want to
fish?
say they are males.
Because they gotta
I mean,
breathe.
mammals.
Because they gotta breathe air.
Yeah, yeah.
But and then they give birth to live young.
Right. So, hey, yeah. But there are mammals that lay eggs.
It's only two. It's the
Platypus?
echidna and the platypus.
Right. So,
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
only two to my knowledge. It might be more now, but when I
but
did
a lot of people think, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, I did a report on it, and it was about egg-laying mammals, and it was the platypus, the duck-billed platypus, which is an interesting animal, bro. I've never seen one. I gotta research more platypus shit.
Definitely. Definitely.
It is a mammal. They
It
are
is a
mammals.
mammal.
They're
Dolphins are
aquatic
mammals?
mammal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this part of our hand, right? They say we were in the water first. And
Yeah,
the
the little web.
Yeah, they base it on the web because that's a swimming web on our fingers and on our toes.
Yeah, but that's cap. That shit way down here.
I mean, before we were born, we were in water.
Or water. We know how to
Oh,
swim
that's
off
We know how to
top.
swim off
You throw a
rip.
baby in the pool, it's gonna swim.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it
but
could
but
come
you
from
throw a
that.
baby in a hot tub, you gonna fuck him up.
That
yeah,
nigga crazy.
yeah. You gotta know what you're doing. Like, hurry up, throw him in the hot tub.
Yeah.
That nigga be a little boiled egg in there.
You know, I always wondered how our environment looks to aquatic animals because we experience this air and this density, and to us, it ain't really shit. But I wonder if when a dolphin looks at us, it can see a splash in the air, like how we can look in the water and see a splash.
Well, can I fuck your brain up real quick?
For sure.
We deal with their sky and they deal with our floor,
Right.
right? So automatically ain't shit to know from this atmosphere to the next one. It really ain't shit to know. From here to the atmosphere that is holding all the gravity together, like the space barrier, whatever, the firmament, whatever you want to call it, from the ground to that, we know it ain't really shit going on.
Right.
Like these aquatic animals can literally look up to the sky and see the moon. They can see the sun. They can have an understanding of what the physical environment above them is. And they know what's deep, deep, deep down below.
Right.
We don't. Right? Like we probably look like just a bunch of like bees to them.
Right.
Like some shit that like the equivalent of bees where it's like enough of them can kill you and everybody know it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like enough bees can fuck you up. Yeah, if we get one bee alone, we can fuck him up if he get in our house. Right? You get one person in the ocean, a shark might fuck him up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They know that, right? But they know that them bees, if they start swarming and they come with them boats and them stingers and that shit, nigga, they gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And it's like that's probably how they look at humans, as just like, man, like stay away from them. Yeah. Like when we see a big ass wasp, we'd be like, all right, go on. Oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We'd crash our car trying to get away because we associate it with pain and death. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that's what they associate us with. And that's like, we probably deem that as like respect from these animals, but no, that shit is like, you know, we kind of like some babies to the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
Almost definitely.
You know, but we got some shit though. Don't get it twisted. We'll fuck some shit up. We got some bombs and we got some shit. Yeah. We didn't made ourselves deadly enough. But at the very, very core of it, we're just some little meat snacks.
Yeah, that's all.
We ain't shit. We like saying what a fruit snack is a fruit snack. We are a meat snack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like a big ass shark or something. Just a quick little meat snack, which is crazy. All right, so what about this? One of my favorite stories when I was a kid was the Loch Ness Monster. Right? It used to come on like Unsolved Mysteries. Like I just for some reason, bro, I just really believe that shit.
The Loch Ness?
Yeah, man, because it was something about it. And so it's this new team that has drones and webcams, and they are volunteering to do a new search for the Loch Ness Monster. Now, why do you think that is? I'm going to tell you why I think it is. I think that in those thousands and thousands of classified documents, one of them talks about how they really, truly don't know what this was. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Like, this is something that could very well be something. Like, that picture has not been deemed a hoax. That picture is supposed to be what it really is, right? That's the only picture that they have of it. Now, it could, I mean, you think that it could be a snake, but then, like, look at the very base of it, how it expands into, like, a shouldery style feel. Somebody said it could be an elephant, but what the fuck is an elephant gonna be doing in Scotland?
Yeah, it could be a swan.
It could definitely be a swan, but
it'd be a crane.
But a swan wouldn't be that submerged.
Right.
Yeah, right,
man. Nessie is what they call her. That's the nickname.
Nessie, man, that was one of my favorite. I think, honestly, Nessie is what really introduced me to what conspiracy theories were about, because I was like, well, why is this on TV? And then people are saying, well, it's not real. It's like, is it real or not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know, that's one of them things like Bigfoot. Like, you know, the government should just come out and say, like, no, I ain't no Bigfoot. And we've done the research and here's what it was. But they don't do that. They just, you know, like, people just don't say shit. And then you look ridiculous for believing in some shit or acting like you don't, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to rule it out. I'm not going to rule this shit out.
Man.
Because they not ruling it out.
No, they're not. I mean, I think this is a very interesting theory. You got to remember, this has been around since 1933. Mm-hmm. And the first spotting of the Loch Ness Monster was by a hotel manager. So, you know,
you think he got time to hoax some shit?
I don't think so.
A hotel manager. Think about being a hotel manager before the internet, where you just had a bunch of keys behind you. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, he ain't got time to be doing no fucking hoaxes. He saw a fucking monster.
I'll make a counter argument here.
Okay.
Somebody brought up something and was saying that the advancements of like how we're able to see. Like, I'm wearing contacts right now. Without my contacts, life is very blurry for me.
Mhm.
Very blurry. And most people back then
How
probably,
blurry?
I'm talking like I'll know that it's y'all, but like I can't really make out y'all faces, like type stuff. So my
Wow.
vision is pretty bad. I'm nearsighted.
Mhm.
So they were saying, imagine back in the day when people couldn't see. You just couldn't see. You don't know what you're seeing, but you could make out and be like, "That I saw something."
But can we say this though? If you couldn't see, then you couldn't see every day, not just that day. So you have seen ducks, you have seen swans, you
How
have
well?
seen alligators. What you mean how
You
well?
got
Like
the thing is, in order, so since I'm nearsighted, I would have to get close enough to see it. If I never got glasses as a kid, there's certain things I wouldn't know
right.
unless
So they
there was
saw
images or
this.
something.
Right.
This is something that they couldn't. Let's just go with the fact that they had astigmatism crazy,
Mm.
and so they couldn't see it. Right? They saw it. It was big enough for them to see, even though they couldn't see. And then for them to not have the cognitive awareness or recognizance to be like, oh, that's just you know, sometimes like my wife wears glasses. Like she could tell if it's a kid and not a little person, or if it's a car, not an SUV. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But this would be like, I'm saying like 30s, like you're working somewhere where there's a large body of water.
yeah.
Dude, did he see it in the daytime or did he see it at night? Like,
At night.
I think that a hotel manager, let's say he had some glasses on. Let's say he couldn't see well and he had his glasses, right? Because they did have glasses back then. They had monocles,
yeah.
they had glasses. He was working at a hotel, which means that he had one of the higher up
He
jobs,
said
right?
monocles.
He dealt
mean-
with the upper class of people, right, at a hotel in Scotland. So this is a international, overseas hotel. He worked there. I would imagine that he had some glasses, right? So I'm imagining that he saw something that he didn't understand how to describe. I think that without the internet and without I think that it was back then, and I think even now, man, in areas of the world that the digital sun don't shine, I think some creepy and crazy and unbelievable things are still going on. Like I'm not one to shoot down the idea of the ice wall and the hidden continents behind it, which I know it sounds crazy, but it's like I just wouldn't put it past them because I have not been to the edge of shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't like dog. I'm just living my life in Detroit and in LA and wherever the fuck else I be at. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I ain't been to the edge. And it's like if it is an ice wall and there's more continents outside, that would explain a lot. Like, can you bring up the map of the outside continents? They have this map, bro, and it's like land of giants. It's like all kind of shit.
Right.
It's like, man, what?
Man, that's interesting. I hate to put. That's why I say you only know what you know.
Or type in flat Earth.
You only know what you know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're blessed with new information that could expand your psyche. It's rare that people are going to be comfortable with that growth. They always, people want the world and you and information to be in a pocket that's comfortable for them. You know what I'm saying?
Ice wall.
I remember seeing it. I can't remember exactly what it looked like though.
Yeah, you'll know when you see it. It's like a top view. Something like that right there.
Like this, I do remember seeing something like
Yep, it's something just like that. Blow that up real quick. What is that? See, so this is all our shit, but then this shit outside of that. And so you think these are aliens? This shit that's outside of this ice wall. And it's a couple ways to get in.
So what they're saying is like we just here in this part.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what we think the world is. Meanwhile, it's technology and stuff from all out there.
Wow. Well, you know that the lake that the Loch Ness monster was discovered in, is on a fault line. It's called the Great Glen Fault. You can see it from space.
Mm.
So, I mean, maybe an explanation for the conspiracy. I mean, maybe this being, whatever it is able to, go to different lakes and, kind of dive in through that fault line and
Yeah.
appear in certain places. You know what I mean?
And I believe that something like that would release something deep from down in the earth that have been trapped like an old dinosaur.
Right.
Man, I be looking at guys online, bro, who be like ordering like poisonous snakes, like man, bro, crazy,
You
like
can buy a
crazy
poisonous
ass,
steak online.
man, bro, crazy ass gaboon vipers and boom slings, just for like their own personal collection.
Yeah.
You seen the I think we talked about it. People make those designer snakes or like have designer snakes, like they'll
Yeah.
breed them. They don't last long, but they like
Oh,
breed
they
'em
don't
just so
last
can
long.
look.
They die.
Yeah, it's like when people breed dogs that really shouldn't be,
Yeah.
bred together. They don't live long.
It's like pied or something like that, right? Like what they call it, like the pie morphs.
I can't remember
It's like pie morph, like pythons. I looked at it real quick, like pie morphs, and they'd be like some crazy colors. Some of them be have like smiley faces on them.
Really?
Hell yeah! I saw a smiley face snake, bro. I know that bitch probably went for a grip.
Yeah, we talking about some hybridization.
No. Like pie, like PIED,
Oh,
and then like another space morph. Yep. Yeah, like that. So you see how you know what I'm saying? Like those are insane. So you say that these don't last long?
I'm not too sure about this, but I've seen some other ones. They're like designer snakes.
Yeah, type in like smiley face snake.
That's interesting. I'm not a snake guy, man.
You're not?
I love all
Look
of
at
God's
this.
Yeah,
creations, though.
so that's
but
crazy. And they got how we made the emoji ball. Like what?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now this could be just maybe it's just an albino python.
No, these are morphs.
U.S. breeder creates snake with 3 smiley faces on it.
That's wild. That's wild. That is
Like, how are they doing that though?
man, that is some next level stuff, bro.
Look at that one down there. That one cold.
This right here.
No, down 2 from that.
Boom, boom.
Yep. That's insane.
Wow.
That is crazy.
It's like somebody
It's like they're drawing on
drawing
it.
it in.
Yeah.
It's like that.
You know what? You right, Amir. They might be sharper than these bitches, dog. Like,
I don't know.
gotta
You know what it
be.
looked like? It reminds me of that, like it's a kid's toy. You know, you get the little thing and the magnet kind of draws it in.
oh yeah,
It's no, it's not an
not an
etch a
etch a
sketch.
sketch. I know what you're talking about, but it's like this powder.
Draw it
Yeah,
over.
like this magnetic powder that was in there. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, and yeah, that's exactly what like the texture of it and everything looks like.
It
Would
was
you
very
say
similar.
would you do that with your wife if it was a doctor that said I can guarantee you a LeBron? Just send your wife here. We go.
And it'd be like
Your baby.
the best sperm I got.
Yeah.
They'd pick out my champion.
You know, 6'8", 270, 50-inch vert, smart. You just got to pay $100,000.
That's like eugenics, right? Isn't
It
what
is. That is eugenics. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably do that.
You what?
Until that nigga go crazy, like I don't know what's wrong with me. I have no soul. I'll be like, motherfucker, I'll shoot you, but you big motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I probably would do that though. I mean, like, it's crazy, bro. Like technology is taking us to a whole nother level.
It ain't gonna stop, man. They just passed some legislation that makes it legal to eat clone meat.
I mean, I feel like the back. Think about. You know how these people work, man. You know how them folks work. Like they just passed a law, but they've been feeding us clone. If you think you've been eating nuggets from chickens that was chickens forever, I just try not to think about it, man. But them, you know, it is what it is, man.
Hell yeah, man. You know, gotta make the best of what we got, man.
They got a thing where they 3D printing steaks. You could 3D print your own steak. Now this is crazy because
eating paper.
nah, eating paper is hilarious. Nah, bro, you could 3D print your own steak. Look at this right here, bro, and eat it.
I don't even know.
And you could on the computer select your marbling that you want. I want it to have this much fat, this much lean meat, and it will print it out, and you can cook it and eat it, bro.
What do you mean print out the steak? I'm lost.
Look at what he's saying. This actually isn't steak. It is printing out using meat fibers.
Oh, that's wild.
Bam.
That's wild.
But they got some that's real meat though. Yeah, see like fat, blood, muscle. You build that, and so you build it one layer at a time.
They putting real blood and stuff in there.
It's
That's
just
probably not. It's probably
blood
fake.
alternatives. But look at what they doing. So it looked crazy until that bitch mash all together form, and then you cut it. And that man, bro, what they going crazy,
Yeah, that's wild, dog.
bruh. But I'm just saying, like, think about taking all of the stress here. Okay, because here's the alternative. Do you want to eat a regular animal, a real animal that had a soul and was walking around, or do you want the benefits of the protein and all of that that's coming from it?
That's a very good question, man. I think I want to be as close to what nature intended as I could possibly
But
be.
you think nature intended for a nigga to hit it with the garlic and the you know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, if we're going to cook it, I feel like we need to develop a cookie meat, right? Instead of trying to cook the meat of the animals that, you know what I'm saying? You know, we are dealing with a molecular thing that we're changing that we don't even
Right.
know what's really doing to us.
Right.
Right? But designing a meat to be cooked, I'm not one to be against science. I just don't want it to bite us in the ass and hurt us. If that shit is gonna be healthier
Right.
and not transmute stress and hormones, I mean, it's like, bruh, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's not worth it to be on that. Amir, would you try a 3D printed healthy steak?
I don't know. I don't even eat steak as is. But
Right, but I'm saying, but
like, if it's
think about it.
3D
You don't eat
printed-
steak, so like something like that where it's like it's not really steak, but it's steak. Would you?
I might try it just to see what maybe like
Yeah.
what it tastes like.
Man, if
But
they
I feel
season-
like that's the thing. Like, I feel like people will eat the shit if it tastes
If that
similar.
shit
If
tastes
it tastes
good-
like 95%,
if it tastes good, bro, it's a wrap.
But if
nigga.
you're eating for taste, it's already unhealthy.
Nah, but that's the whole point though. Like, we're not eating for taste, we're eating for healthy. So that's why we're dealing with some kind of new you know what I'm saying, new thing. It's nothing can beat a steak, obviously. So you can just go get a steak. Right? What we're saying is like, what about the possibility of eliminating all of the negative aspects of dealing with red meat and pork and all of this shit, but still getting the benefit of having some of these things, and they do taste great.
Right.
If I could fucking get up in the morning, turn the printer on, print me about 4 or 5 slices of bacon, you know what I'm saying? And then fry that bitch up and that shit go crazy. My kids come downstairs like, did you print me some? I'm like, did you ask for some? I sent y'all the link. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
but it's like, dog, like, yeah, man, I don't know, man. I'm not gonna sit here and run from the technology like everybody else is, because that's just, you know, the cool thing to do is shit on it. It makes me excited, bro. It makes me excited that we are finding these alternatives, and if we can make sure that we keep them healthy. I saw the chickpeas, and man, if we could keep them healthy, bro, keep them, you know, natural, why not play around with how we can deliver it to ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree 100%.
You feel me? Because it be the same motherfuckers that be like, ugh, this is crazy, and then get a kid a fucking bottle pop sucker with a fucking sucker nipple, and you gotta suck the nipple, get it sticky, turn it upside down, get it inside the powder, then screw it back on, and it's like, come on, man, come on. So then y'all mad at the meat that they printing out? It's like,
yeah, they get the taste down, then I think they gonna like it. It's like the fake chicken stuff. For a while,
Yeah.
I was like, I can't, because I don't really like tofu. It's too chewy.
yeah,
But they've gotten close now. It's like and they be pretty good. You know,
For
the
real?
fake chicken stuff is pretty good. Yeah,
word.
I've had like they have like the Impossible nuggets. They look like McDonald's nuggets. You can buy them at the store.
It don't make you feel weird on the inside after you eat it, like, oh man, like you don't get a little dizzy.
Nah, the first time, yeah.
Yeah,
The
first
very
time
first
you be
time
like,
I
what
had
am
it, I
doing?
was like, it just felt so light. Like it was.
Yeah.
I think my body reaction to it was just a little bit different.
that shit be
but
having me feeling like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and
the
take me a
Impossible
shit.
nuggets though.
I had them
pretty
at
good.
Kevin Hart's restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, word. How was that? How was it?
It was all right. It wasn't bad. Yeah, like you're right though. It takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
I think your body, once it, it's been consuming meat for so long.
Yeah, and meat got a certain. My bad. Go ahead.
I just said it craves meat.
Yeah. Meat got a certain chew count too. Like, I know my chicken chew count is like 16, 17 bites. Because you bite it and it's like, and if I get to the consistency too early, it's gonna fuck me up. Like, why is it already smashy?
Yeah.
Right.
This chicken is a 16 bite thing. Steak is a good tender steak is about a good 13 bite situation. Think about it. Cut it. Did around the sauce. Yeah. 2, 3. Yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all I have of it. 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 12. 12. I said 13, but 12.
You ever been to the dead body exhibit at the in Vegas at the what's the Pyramid Hotel?
Yeah,
The Luxor?
no, yeah, I've seen it. I didn't
know
go
they
in
had
there.
that there.
Have you
I didn't
seen
go in
a
there.
stomach? Have you seen a stomach out the body? How big a stomach is out the body?
Hold on, real quick.
My bad.
When I be talking about steak and something delicious, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never seen no steak. No motherfucking stomach outside the body. This nigga just was like, yeah, guess what else? You ever seen an asshole blew up with the shit? Like, no, nigga, I'm trying to live my life the whole time without seeing that. My nigga went to a museum to see it. You know what I'm saying? This niggas would have seen that in the field. They shot the nigga's stomach out.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But nah, so wait, so you was in the museum and you was
So-
looking inside niggas' bodies.
Well, they have all the organs outside the body. So when you talk about chewing, it's just the size of the stomach is wide. When I saw a stomach out the body, I was like, man, I need to chew more.
Oh,
The stomach is like this big, dog.
damn. So then what so why we be so hungry?
I don't know.
The acid. This is more about like how your body takes parts of what you ate and throws it to where it needs to go. Because there's like parts that just go through. That's just waste. There's parts that your body needs to like energy to consume. Blood work.
Yeah.
And then the other part of it gets burned up, kind of thing. And some
Yeah.
stuff you could tell be like, this is heavy. Like you just feel full.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
like how they get you at a restaurant. They fill you up with water or your drink first, and then you be like, I'm kind of full, and you don't end up eating the food. Then you be
One
hungry.
thing,
a
it
couple
ain't
hours later.
nasty when you go. If you go to the exhibit, you're not gonna be grossed out.
Okay.
It's like it's science. You feel like you're in science class or something,
I didn't know they had that there. I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Yeah, man. Look at that, bro. That's an actual person.
That's that nigga dick.
Yeah, that's his whole.
See, man, don't put me out here like that, dog. He can't even explain himself. Like, no, bitch, this just the inside of my shit. This ain't even when it be wrapped in the fat. Like, nah, you can't even fuck that. Yeah, you was taking pictures in that bitch, huh?
I took a couple.
They ain't tell you no pictures.
No, you just couldn't touch nothing. But yeah, it was very interesting, man. If you see,
Imagine you take your let's say you got a service dog, and you take your service dog in there, and all of a sudden that nigga fuck around, lick one of them bones, and then he and then he just you can't get him off. They trying to pull a nigga off a leg. You can't get him off a leg. He pulling the damn leg off. Yeah, what you gonna do, man? You know what I'm saying? You gonna punch your dog?
Who taught us that though?
What, the dogs like bones? I feel like that was like the Flintstones when I first saw a dog eat a bone, maybe in my life.
Yeah, I'm referring to the body. Like, I feel like aliens taught us to do surgeries and take skin off the body and look at it from a whole different perspective. You know what I'm saying?
I think Egyptians was doing a lot of surgeries. As a matter of fact, I know they were.
Imhotep is the first man to do a surgery for sure.
Yeah, I don't
But
know
who taught him?
I don't know who Imhotep is. Was he an Egyptian?
Imhotep is an Egyptian.
Yeah.
He was a scientist. He was a historian. Egyptian mystery schools, they went to school for 40 years. They did 10 years on science, 10 years on math, 10 years on astrology, and 10 years on farming. So they were genius. They put their outlier hours in on multiple things.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like a little cap. Sometimes I feel like, man, they be telling us shit about Egypt, like, bro, we was not even there, and all that shit is written in pictures and tattoos. We don't know what the fuck that shit say.
Nigga said tattoos.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's just like, man, they be like, yeah, see all them sphinxes. What they was trying to say was, y'all better behave. And then over here, you see right here where you got the boats. They were saying, float
What
on.
does this mean?
You know what I'm saying? This right here, that was a new song that came out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't
they
know
be-
how to dance Berkeley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they be lying to us like a mug. Man.
For real.
Yeah.
All right. So we got one more topic, man. Before we get up out of here, I'm gonna ask you some questions, man. You know, I just saw you last night, man, at the Improv, man.
Yeah, great set last night. Man.
Oh man, thank you, man. Thank you,
Yeah,
man. I
great
appreciate
set,
that, man. You know, I've been touring.
Yeah. You
I'm
can tell.
touring, man, and so I just feel like I'm getting my reps, and it's just a good time. This is a good time, man.
Keep working, man.
Yeah, man. What do you think about comedy, man? I know we were talking about it earlier. You were saying,
man, I love comedy, man. I love the art of it. Linguistics is my thing, man. I've been like that since I was a kid, so I'm really good with words. Like when you talk, I can tell you how many words you said, or my mind it keys into words. So I just love comedy. I just love the art of it, man. So
are you on like the spectrum or something?
nah, hell no, man.
No, I'm
wish
just
I
asking you.
was. I
I'm
probably
just
would be
asking
a
you because you be like,
genius.
yeah. Then I count the words people say. That sounds like some
Yeah.
Rain Man shit.
No, it's just some poetry shit. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Songs.
So you like, what are you doing? Like counting like almost like music notes of words, like
It just
like beats.
yeah, just the rhythms. The rhythms. Even when I write 3 words across or 4 words across, and I go to the next line. I never go across the whole page, or I may decide to go 5 across. You know what I mean? Because rhythm and words. If you can master the art of rhythm and words, you can murder in anything. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, comedy, man. I'm on the same grind right now. I'm touring independently, man.
Where can they see you next?
Man, I'll be in New York on September 14th at Broadway Comedy Club. Get your tickets before they sell out. I think they might have sold out, so you got to we're going to add a second show, but I'm there, September 14th. And I got San Diego 2 weeks after that. And in 2 weeks, just go to thecraigsmith.com, click the tour dates. You know what I'm saying? You guys be able to purchase tickets and see me no matter where you are. And I'm adding cities, man, so come mess with me.
That's dope,
The
man.
Get It From God comedy tour.
What's like a comedy that you watched growing up a lot?
So I wasn't really big into stand-up as a kid.
Really?
No, I was a sports guy and a rap guy. Even though Martin was my guy, I was always funny. I could always roast. But I didn't decide to do comedy till I was 28.
Damn.
I'm 41, so I started late. I was 5 albums into a rap career. Sold a couple 100,000 units independently. Had a whole nother fan base outside of music.
What?
I was embarrassed when I started doing comedy.
What?
Yeah, I was like, nigga, I'm a failed rapper. I wasn't a failed rapper, but I was like, nigga, why am I, I wasn't telling nobody for like the first couple years,
Wow.
Yeah, my journey been a lot different. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I sacrificed a lot. I had a cold doctor bitch when I started comedy. I let her go because she couldn't understand the vision, but
How she feel now?
I don't, she ain't never gonna give me my props, but she probably feel a little,
Y'all still follow each other?
Yeah, we still fight. It's all love.
Oh yeah, no, I know, of course,
yeah.
I'm just saying, but you ever just look at her and be like, yeah, life ain't really what it would have been with me, huh?
I don't know how yours went, but for me, it's weird how people, like specifically with the ladies, they'll trade. They won't sacrifice 10 years of struggle for 50 years of bubble. They think it's okay to go mess with another guy until you get your shit together.
Yeah.
And then when you got it, come back and get me. And I'm like, well, how does that work?
Who do you think you are? You know what I'm saying? It's like the nerve. I think, yeah, I feel you. I think the bottom line is, though, people talk about in college and, it's just like, look, man, what do you want out of life? Like, you really should get your shit all the way together and then focus on shooting your best shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, worst thing we do in our adolescence is trying to date and find somebody that's gonna believe in you.
Man.
Like, save them the energy and do the work. You know what I'm saying? So they don't gotta believe in you. People can enjoy who you became, not look forward to who you might become if the stars align.
Right.
I think that, we be so vain, women too, to think that somebody want to come along and drag you along as a project.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like, no, like get your shit together and then, holler with your whole chest and not, with the, well, fuck you then, bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, and I, that's just, shit, spoken from a grown man now
Yeah. Definitely. I
who
agree.
understands this, like, nigga, like, it should have never been, I should have never been having conversations with women about what my potential is and whether or not they believe in it.
Oh no,
You
this
feel what
is
I'm saying? Like,
y-
the fact that I was even having those combos is like, ugh.
I mean, we can get into so many things when it comes to that, man.
Like what? Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I mean, like cluster B personality disorders, narcissism, antisocial behavior disorder, you know, all the things that fall in the spectrum. A lot of people are groomed to have a certain sense of entitlement because they may have had a narcissistic parent
Mm.
or somebody who focused in on them and made them into somebody who has like no empathy. A lot of people don't have empathy, and that's something that I look for in people if I deal with people. Um, is empathy, man, because being able to understand somebody else's life or somebody else's plight outside of yours is people who can do that have the ability to be a part of something bigger than self. And in order to make it in this business or anything where you got to be extraordinary, you got to be a part of something bigger than yourself. It can't just be
Mm-hmm.
about you, what you feel, what you want, because that's the tool that we use to relate to the people and touch people and say things that could change their lives, or say things that stop people from killing themselves, or say things that make a person keep going because they know what you went through. You got to have empathy to tap in like that, but most people don't have it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's deep. That's deep. Yeah, a lot of people don't have empathy. You know what I'm saying? And I think, yeah, man. I mean, because empathy is like, I don't know, like I hear you, but I don't think that's one of my top traits. And I'm listening to you like, man, maybe that should be. Maybe there should be a level of omni understanding, being able to understand something that you're not a part of or something that is not about you. Right? Like, I think that we really raise girls in this society to be self-absorbed.
Man,
And then the problem is that, when looks begin to, once you get over the hump, you get about 24, 25, and there's new 18-year-olds coming out like that,
daily.
new 20-year-olds born daily, and you start to feel like you can't keep up. There's a breakdown that happens because, a lot of our interest that we put into our girls is all about beauty. And it's like, there's other reasons why somebody could deem you attractive,
Right.
and there are other reasons why somebody could see the benefit in you. And I think that when we just limit our women like that, it also kind of hurts the men too.
For sure.
That's why I try to get my daughters into a lot of science. Like the it's a certain kind of girl that can get her hands dirty,
Right.
get down and plant some flowers, and what I'm saying, kill a bug if she need to, or pick up, a frog. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
It's
Right.
like it's a certain, like, that groundedness to the world makes you understand that it's something bigger than you. I think that a lot of like these city girls is like out of touch with like nature and like their planet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's too much of that and not enough understanding of like, yo, you belong to the whole greater good of
Man.
everything. You're just one piece.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what you look like and all of that is not even secondary or not even in the top 5 things that are important to a person. And so, it's just like it sucks because a lot of great people get overlooked because of certain things like that.
100%. We think alike, man. I was telling somebody. Oh, go ahead.
No, 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 no. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was telling somebody something very controversial a couple weeks ago. I was talking about our great grandparents and how they didn't break up a lot, right? And I said this is just a theory. but I would attribute it to murder. Great great grandparents, the woman watched her man kill things, whether it's the pig in the backyard, the cow, or she watched him physically get out there and provide and do things that directly contributed to her survival. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm.
and that made the bond stronger because a lot of times in society these days, a lot of times people are able to develop concepts about people in their head that are unproven, but circumstantial things may prove it to them. So, like a woman may say, because a man is going to work more and working more hours, that he doesn't love me as much in her head.
Mm-hmm.
And then she may go down this path of, well, CP don't love me like he used to because he ain't home as much, or he ain't, you know what I mean? But you out killing and conquering for the family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it's something that is what's the word I'm trying to use? But since she doesn't physically see you do it, like great grandmother would see great grandpa go in the backyard, put the shotgun to the pig's head, kill it, gut it, bring it in so she can cook it. She don't physically see that. She just hears you telling her that she's gonna go to work, or you're gonna go to work, or I'm flying to Phoenix for a show, or I'm going to New York for a show. But it's not necessarily real to her like it is to great great grandmother who actually was out with grandpa watching him do what he does. So you know what I mean?
Well, but also what he does is what every other grandfather did too. So there was no thought about her missing out on anything or her thinking that somebody else really had it better than her, because what men did is what that man did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like now social media is out. You got to look at, people is like, I'm not necessarily satisfied with, whatever.
Right.
And people have choices and options now, which is crazy. I think that we're not used to a woman having options like they do.
I agree
You
100%.
know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, man, like it might take some getting used to, but I don't think that shit about to change, bro.
Nah, it ain't gonna change. You really have to adapt now because I don't think that loyalty is something that would be smart to look for.
What you mean? Why you say that though?
I mean, it's really about as a man, it's really about setting the table, being honest and clear about what your expectations are and where you plan on leading this woman, or multiple women. And then if she falls in line with that plan, we get in motion.
Damn.
You
Is
know what
that
I'm
what
saying?
being single was like? Are you single, bro?
Yeah, I'm single. Yeah, for sure.
What's that? What's that like?
I
Like,
mean,
nigga, you famous,
a
bro.
lot of sex and
Is it a lot of sex for real? You be like, that nigga said,
no, being single is actually more of a nuisance than anything. I mean, there's a woman I've been dealing with, but we're not together. But I'm single, but I'm not out here hunting like I used to. My goal is to be a legendary comedian. You know what I'm saying? So I'm building my thing one piece at a time. You know what I'm saying? So for me, being single is, hey, do you understand this and what this is about? And if you do, then we could be friends. If not, I love you, but I got to keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying?
damn. Yeah, that's real. Being married is like, I told you what I wanted to do. You told me no, and okay. You be like, all right, cool. All right, so you're not gonna do that. Well, okay. All right, cool. Yeah,
Well, you got to compromise.
yeah.
That's different. You
No,
want
yeah,
something bigger than yourself. You got to. I mean,
absolutely.
you can't be a dictator when you in a marriage, but when you single, it's your world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's your
Mm-hmm.
world, man. But most of us don't even know how to pick women. Most of us, we're gonna pick the wrong one every time. You know what I mean?
Why you think that is?
Because we're gonna pick the one who has the biggest booty, the most beautiful face, the sex is the best, and we're gonna pick them for all for reasons that don't necessarily uh, contribute to being a great partner. You know what I'm saying?
I think all those are pretty important.
They are, but they shouldn't be at the top of the list.
I mean, but it's like you don't want to get all the way down to like personality. If her booty little, it's like, all right, bitch, gone. Like,
Right,
look,
right.
I know you nice, you know what I'm saying, but you
Yeah,
walk around looking like the Riddler.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
right.
Pink Panther booty having ass bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Or no, maybe you've been single long enough to be like, you got this look in your eye, like, no, man, I would actually love me a Pink Panther booty bitch, man.
And no, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got knees that certain shaped women can't meet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I would, it's very tough. It's a very tough thing because it takes a lot of soul searching and reflection. Then it's a lot of luck too.
Damn.
If you married to a good woman and y'all solid, that's a blessed situation. That's a rare thing.
Damn.
You know how many people broke up during the pandemic? I know 3 or 4 people who was together 20 years, 15 years, and divorced during the pandemic.
Why is that? You think it's because we work so much that we never really get a chance to spend time with our real spouses anyway?
There we go.
And so by the time we forced to be together, it's like I don't even know this chick for real.
Hey, I would consider that to be
That's crazy.
true.
See, me and my wife spent a lot of time in college together, like literally just doing nothing, just at the crib. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, pandemic was like, I'm about to go play the game. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, but I feel what you're saying though. Like, I can see that test in a lot of relationships for sure.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's like, bro, you don't really, you got nowhere to run. There's only so many shits that you could take during the day. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, what are you doing in there? Like, damn it, I'm trying to shit. You know what I'm saying? But really, you just, it's only so much of that. So, no, I ain't go to the Dream Cruise, man. And also, TH Comedy, I saw what you said about teaching our boys. We got to teach our boys that they worth something.
How do you do that though?
Man, bro. Build their confidence up.
Yeah.
Like, I saw this clip of this white little, and it ain't because she white, but she was white though. This white girl talking to Bronny, and Bronny was just sitting there talking. She's like, "Wow, you're getting so tall. Your voice is so deep." He was like, "You never met me."
Right.
And it was funny because it was like most little niggas would be gassed because she was cute.
Yeah.
But he was like, "You never met me." She was like, yeah, I did. She's all embarrassed. Like, bitch, you never met him. You know what I'm saying? But it's just funny that it's like, we need more king shit from the man side to put pressure on the women. So like, cause women, we all act like, well, whatever the women say is what go, but that ain't true though. Cause if we stop fucking with them for being on ratchet shit, then they would change.
Right.
It's like, bitch, I'm not fucking you. Go to class.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, get your shit together. I'm not. But see, most men don't make it to the other side of the desirable spectrum. Most men never know what it's gonna feel like to have women trying to pursue you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like most men kind of like they pursue, they lock one down, then it's over.
Right.
Right? But it's like you never gonna know what it feels like, and then you kind of see it from another angle. Like, nah, like bitch, get your shit together.
Man.
And if we put pressure on them to have their shit together when they fuck with us, then the whole society could really grow.
100%.
But we kind of let women, and I don't want to say be lazy, but we let them kind of get away with the bare minimum when it comes to what's expected of them across the board.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, like you said, like we don't put pressure on beautiful women to go and be some shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, so then that turns into the goal is to be beautiful so that you don't have to do shit, not to do shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So the goal is to fix your body and do all of this shit so you can not have to do shit. Find you somebody who will allow you to fucking retire at 23. You know what I'm saying? And not do shit. And it's kind of like we not making it harder on them. And they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they just being like, fuck it, and it's just like, that's where that mentality, the city girl mentality, thank you to my man, right. All that shit is like, like, bitch, get a life. First of all. And second of all, she probably rich as fuck. She just training the mentality of these girls coming behind her that's like, yeah, you're right. I ain't paying for shit. And I shouldn't have to. And it's like, all right, for sure.
I agree. I think that bad bitch mentality is failure response.
It's rooted in laziness.
It's a failure response because capitalism and society has made it damn near impossible for one person to survive efficiently and comfortably in the society. So we always trying to put the work off on somebody else. That's why I think one of the answers could be, on top of what you said, is possibly polygamy. And I don't even mean it from a sexual perspective. I mean, it's purely financial. If I got one chick, if I got 3 women and they all got part-time jobs and I got a part-time job, we living somewhere up on the hill. We only working 20 hours a week. We're surviving. We're comfortable, and it ain't all on one person. Because right now, what they want to do is put it all on us, which is cool to an extent. But we live in a society where a lot of the struggle is manufactured. You know what I'm saying? The lack of jobs and the lack of ability to provide on a certain level are manufactured, where there's only a certain amount of positions, there's only a certain amount of this, a certain amount of that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that women who not like polygamy scares women in a way where it's like you put competition in the house to never get comfortable.
Right.
And I think that when women hear that word, they be like, oh no, because now, this bitch do this better than me. Now I gotta step it up. Whereas I will be the only bitch in the house making spaghetti.
Right.
Now we got 3 spaghetti recipes and one of them bitches is fire. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just like, yeah. And so it don't really be about them or how they love you and none of that. It really be about that's fucking up the plan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, because it's big business to have a nigga pay for everything.
That's crazy.
And that's how they look at it. And
Man.
little boys just gotta just go along with that. They just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna show that I got money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh my God.
Man,
that's why you gotta watch Clone Tyrone, man, because all of that ties into the program. And where's the program coming from?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, nobody want to ask the real questions. But anyway, that's all we ever have is the questions, never the answers. Only the questions on the CP podcast. I want to thank my host, Craig Smith. My bad. I want to thank my host, Craig Smith.
Appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, appreciate you coming through.
God,
you said, tell them your socials, where they can find you at, and then you are on tour right now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Craig Smith, TheeKraig Smith. The Craig Smith. I'm on the Get It From God. If I owe you something, you can get it from God comedy tour. Next stop is Broadway Comedy Club in New York City. It'll be me and Big Ja, Ken Edwin. Also, I'm going to fly out Boo Capone to help me roast the audience at the end. So make sure you guys are there. Immediately buy these tickets before they sell out. And then also, man, I'm going to scale up after this tour, man. I'm going to be doing some of these theaters, man. I'm an independent comedian. Like Master P was an independent rapper. I'm an independent comedian. So I put a lot of my own money up, man. So y'all support means a lot, man. I'm taking an angle and a route that's rare in this art form, and it's working for me. So without y'all, I'm nothing, man. So please support. And if I owe you something, get it from God. God.
Mm-hmm. And then y'all already know, man, I'm on tour right now. The CP Was Here tour this weekend, which will be September 2nd. I'm going to be in Baltimore. And then on the 7th, I'm in Phoenix. And on the 9th, I'm in Chicago. So, yeah, man, catch me where y'all can. I'm going to have the shirts starting in Phoenix. And, yeah, man. Yeah, dog. We out of here, man. Shout out to Amir. And, yeah, we out. Peace.